Hi traders, this is Forex Nelson and I'm back again today and I'm doing another video for my live trading with lots of trading tips. Today's date is September the 26th and as you can see down here, I did 10 trades. So a very good tip is you must have some kind of a daily trade plan. Now this is the one that I'm using. It's an expert advisor that runs in real time. Now every morning between 6 and 7 I'm in front of the charts. I take a look at my expert advisor here. I take a screenshot of it, mainly for the reason after a few hours, 2-3 hours later, this can easily change from bearish to bullish. Mainly for the reason that I am a day trader, in and out after 1 to 3 hours, and I put a little bit more weight on the 30 minutes to 1 hour, and of course the 4 hours. These three right here are very important. And of course, like I said, this can easily show the beginning of either of an uptrend or a downtrend. So right at this vertical line here, this is 6 a.m. New York time. So remember to keep an eye on the calendar at Forex Factory, and also keep an eye on this meter right here. Reason for keeping an eye on the calendar at Forex Factory is you don't want to be surprised by high impact news. And this meter, at least for today, pointed me in the direction of the pound trades down here. The pound was actually a bus driver. In other words, it was 80% or higher. And so you'd be buying the pound, and that's why I bought all these pound trades. So let's take a look. I took this trade. I was in between 6 and 7. The first two were around 7:20, and by 7:34 I closed them all right to the minute using my close all script. One click on the mouse and all the trades in the trade terminal completely shut down. So when I did take the trade, there was a super signal saying, this is your setup candle, that's your trigger candle, and it just would not break this bottom here. So that's why it just kind of went up and back down, and if I would have waited long enough, I would have eventually turned it into a winner. But I didn't want to hang around for 5 hours. So I didn't like what I was seeing. So I just closed it out. Looks like with around 11 pips. Has to be 11 because the USD is on the right hand side. Euro dollar and the pound dollar. It pays $10 for each pip. And so remember, this is a minus 11 pips, and that's why with my lot sizes it's a negative $1,100. And of course the market is very random. Here it looked good, and then when I saw this, everything on the next candle going blue, I decided to close out the trade and just forget about this one. I wasn't too worried about a small loss. You must remember that the markets on some days will respond like this. Due to the fact it's so random, all you can do is have a trading plan, follow your plan, and the daily trade plan expert advisor, and take the trade, and then just manage it after that. There's nothing else you can do. And okay, Euro Yen is the next one. Here's another one. And look at how flat is going nowhere, basically. Let's see where I got in at. Drag and drop this up. There it is right there. And this one right here, well, at one point I was up 22 pips, but, you know, when I closed it out, I was just happy. Well, wasn't super happy, but it was only minus 5 pips and it didn't bother me too much. And so that produced a negative $346. I just backed it up here and I want to show you when the charts look like this, there's a higher probability of dropping. You know, you got a gap in this T area, goal line's going down, bit of a pullback and away it goes. So, but it could have moved here too, but I was keeping an eye on it and realizing it wasn't going to go. So I closed out the trade. Let's try this Euro Aussie trade. Another one. See how flat it is here? But, you know, not much you can do about it. I tried the trade and it didn't work. Let's see, Euro Aussie. At one point I was up 16. And I just decided to close it out because I started to see blue down at the bottom. And it was around -1, or I believe that's what it was. Hardly move at all. Something like that. -1, -2. That's a negative. And that's why you see a -$129. Now you know the reason why I do more than 1 or 2 trades. Imagine if I would have just done these 2, sitting around for a period of time, and for either small loser, and if I would have hung on to it even longer, it would have turned into a much bigger loser, or, you know, or a small winner. I don't know which one is going to move, and all you can do is take the trade, and if it moves or doesn't move that much, just make sure you manage the trade properly. Next trade I only did 1 futures, as the other ones didn't look all that great for today. So let's see, 30-year bonds, here's another one. I did sell it, and if I would have hung around for a number of hours, it would have done good. Let's see, about 150 pips. But since it's 0 here, measuring from here to there is going to show 0 anyhow. And so this was a flat trade. So now we can get into the pound trades, the ones that actually moved a lot more and paid pretty good today. Pound dollar. Let's run a check on this one. See where I got in at. Took the trade here in the pound dollar. This one pays $10 for each pip, so this count should be, looking at the money, should be 71. There it is right there, 71 pips. Could have made more, probably twice as much, but again, I'm only looking for 200 pips and ticks for the day that I am trading. 71 times $10, because that's what it pays, $10 for each pip, times 10 lots, paid out $7,100. And as you can clearly see, the 2 moving averages cross back here. That's what I saw. Bit of a gap in between the 2 moving averages. There's your pullback. There's your super signal. This is your setup candle. That's your trigger candle. And I got in right around the same time. And of course, the very best place to pull the trigger is on a pullback after the signal. That's the magic word, pullback. And then take the trade as close to the goal line as possible. So your first, if you like to do more than one position, you can put 1 position here and another one right here. And this one right here would have produced about, let's see, about 190 pips. Not too bad. And of course, when I'm getting a trigger and signals, when I'm buying, I want to see as much blue as possible. So we have blue, blue, blue. TZ is going up slightly. And the MACD dots here are blue and slowly working its way up. Okay, let's move on to the next pound trade. Pound New Zealand. Here we go. Wanted to be buying it. There's the arrow from the daily trade plan. The two moving averages are diverging, plus they're going up. When you see this, let me just back it up a bit. When you see this right at the right hand edge, you see the goal line going up. Everything is looking good. The MACD, everything is blue down at the bottom. At that point, all you're going to do is wait for a pullback. This is it right here. And then another one right here. And then you can get in the trade as close to the goal line as possible. So this was your setup candle down at the bottom. Everything is blue. You can clearly see, including the MACD. So the next candle would have been your super signal right there with the arrow, and that's exactly where I got in at. And let's see, closed it out here just being happy. Looks like with about 129 pips. And those 129 pips paid out $7,489. And another thing I notice is that these two red lines is the average daily range, or the ADR, high and low. That's for the past 20 days. This is the average daily range. Top left corner here, it's 331, but today went 738. Market's been moving a lot more lately, mainly because of the what's happening with the war in Ukraine, and so there's lots of upsetting times over in that part of the world, and everybody's worried about what Russia might do next. So that's why we're having a lot of price action. Okay, so moving on to the next trade, which is the pound yen. This particular one, another one that went up. It did qualify for a great way to trade. In other words, the 10 is moving average is going up. It's diverging. The goal line is going up. And everything is looking good. Remember, the pound was a bus driver. And so it was pretty clear that I was going to get some pips. So right on this candle, it's always the candle before the super signal. Remember, on this super signal here, I added it after. Like it was about, 3 months after I did the videos for Pro Trader, and I wanted the super signal. And moving forward, every system I'm going to be making, I'm going to add it to it, because it makes the system a better trading system. So got in right around pretty good timing, and I closed it out here just being happy. Looks like with about 111 thereabouts, and 111 pips on this trade paid out $7,835. As a general rule of thumb, the best place to pull the trigger, whether you're going up or down, is always as close to the goal line as possible. In other words, the first 1 to 3 hours, and anytime the market comes back, here would be a good entry. or here, or here. And that's producing at least 220 pips. May not look like a lot, but market's been moving a lot lately. Okay, let's move on to another trade here, another pound trade, pound Swiss, based on the pound being strong today. All the charts look the same. So when I saw the first one and the next one and the next one, I knew it was going to go up. The lines, moving averages are diverging. The gold line's going up, qualifies for a great way to trade, as I teach within the training videos. The signal candle is when it goes from red to blue. See, it's blue, blue, blue. TZ is going up. And the MACD is blue. So on the next candle, you'll get the arrow. And let's see now where I got in at. So, pretty much around the same time. Don't forget, you have to put the spread in there. And let's see how many pips I did get. Looks like 84. And 84 pips paid out $8,476. Now, just to let you know, I myself, I don't need this Bollinger Band and MACD indicator right here. I just interested in going in the direction of my daily trade plan and catching the beginning of the cycles, either for going up or, like over here, the cycle for it to start to come back down. And that move there was like 160 pips. But this is the, I'm using the Pro Trader mainly because this is the one that I'm using right at this time on YouTube. Now, there's certainly nothing wrong with having another confirmation with another indicator, whether you should be buying and or selling. Okay, next trade, pound CAD. Let's see where I got in at. First of all, I took all the trades right around the same time, as you can see. Again, this is the setup candle when it goes from red to blue, blue, blue. TZ is going up. And another indicator confirming the MACD, blue dots right here. When this candle, setup candle closed, you'll get the arrow here, an audio sound pop-up box, and it'll be saying to buy the pound CAD. So that's what I did. Bought it. And let's see what I ended up getting here. 100 and something, 120 it looks like. 120 pips, and that ended up paying $8,866. Remember, like for myself, I trade and looking mostly at the 15-minute time frame. So I have a timer, the timer right on my cell phone, the clock function, and it beeps every 15 minutes and or, quarter hour. And every time it beeps, I scan the market and keeping an eye, is there a trade setting up? And if I'm in the trade, then I'm going to be managing it. And if things don't look right, you can quickly close out the trade before it turns into like something that you don't really want, like a big loser. And of course, you can manage the trade accordingly every 15 minutes until you finally decide to close the trade. And of course, when you're using stops, wherever you get in the trade, I use this goal line. Generally, it's good enough. And just go just on the other side. Now, remember the market has a lot of volatility lately, and you're looking at about 100 pip stop. And of course, it did go against you about 30 something. And like I said, that's just the way it is with these pound pairs, and lately they're moving a lot more than just the average daily range. And the same thing, if you're trading the pullback, like this pullback to the goal line area, your stop can go. Many times what I do is the first swing pivot high, which is right in here. The swing pivot high is when you got a candle on the left and a candle on the right, which is lower. And a swing pivot low, as over here, the candle on the left and the candle on the right is higher up. So ideally that's where your stop should go. If you're getting in around here, you're looking at around 90 some pips. But it didn't even come near that if you sold it back to the goal line area. Try to avoid buying too far away from the goal line. In other words, this is not a good place to buy. And all you got to do is measure back to the goal line, and that's well over 200 pips, which is tradable as soon as you start to get sell signals down at the bottom, which is right here. So you can pull the trigger anywhere across here, and that ended up paying like around 175 pips. And sometimes you have to hang around for 2 to 3 hours before it pays out. That's a very interesting and important tip, is anytime you're thinking about selling, let's say right around here, just measure back to the goal line. That's over 500 pips. So, if you get any kind of a buy signal, which is right in here, or wait a second, you got buy signals over here and here and here. And then of course, the thing is, you don't buy too far away from the goal line, and if you are far away from the goal line, then you can trade the pullbacks. So you can watch the videos. I've done many videos on how to trade pullbacks, like to the goal line. Let's move on to the last trade. It's the pound Aussie. Here we go. Another one I wanted to be buying. Qualified for a great way to trade. Goal line's going up, and the 10 is above it, and it's diverging. And let's see, here's TZ. You're just going to follow the TZ going down, just waiting for the signal. So when it goes blue, 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 TZ is going up, and the MACD is blue. So let's see where I did get in at. Looks like right where the super signal, don't you just love this super signal? Get the alert, take a quick look at everything. Looks fantastic down at the bottom. There's not one reason not to take the trade, including the daily trade plan. And I close it out here just being happy with about 139 pips. And those 139 pips paid out $8,967. So this turned into a really good day for trading. I'm always looking for 200 or more pips. And I knew that this was going to be over 400. I added up all the pips as they were basically all just pips today. And the grand total turned out to be 526 pips, and that, as you can see, paid out $47,157. So it's just about time to wrap up this video. And of course, if you have any questions, all you got to do is get in contact with me. And until the next video, good luck with your trading.